Hey everybody, this is Kevin from Klotz Productions, and this video is a deck tech of my Boros Warfare deck. So I'm going to start down here with the lands. I run 6 mountains, 10 plains, 4 arid mesas, and 4 scalding tarns. The reason I run so many basic lands is because there is not a red-white land that comes into play untapped, and I don't really feel like playing stuff that comes into play tapped. And I figure with all the fetched lands here, that should be fine. Because I can search for red-white with Arid Mesa. I can get red with Scalding Tarns. And the reason I use the fetches is for a Myria Angel. So we'll go up here to the creatures. First creature I've got is Stun Sniper. Now, a lot of people would probably think Stun Sniper is an awkward addition, but he's actually really useful. Right now I see it a lot of Boros decks. And so he comes in really handy against Boros because he can kill about half of its creatures by himself. If you get 2 of them, you can basically kill all their creatures, unless they're playing the Skyfisher. But the build I see at my FNM does not have the Skyfishers, so don't have to worry about those. And he's also useful because he's going to tap them down, so even if he can't kill them, he can still tap down, double pumped Lynxes and double pumped plated Geopedes, and then after they pump, then they just die. So he's really good against Boros' most powerful cards. And then he's good in other places because he can obviously just tap down a dude and stop damage. He can tap down a Baneslayer, or he can kill, a Man Accelerator like a Noble Hierarch or a Lotus Cobra. So he has quite a few uses. He's not very useful against Jund. I'd take him out against Jund, but he has a lot of uses in a lot of other places. So that's why I run 4 of him. It's a good solid 2-drop that most decks are going to have to get rid of him, or he's going to be a real nuisance. The next creature is a Myria Angel. Run 4 Myria Angels. And these are really good against Jund because they're 3/3 flyers. With a fetch land, I get 2 more flyers. So it builds card advantage. And it gives me more dudes to fly over them and kill them with, along with my Glory of Warfare, which we'll get to in a minute. Baneslayer Angel, it's pretty obvious. It's a white deck, so it has Baneslayer in there. I guess if you play a Baneslayer and they have a Mark of Mutiny, it can ruin your day, but, that's why I only run 3, also because I only have 3, but, I think 4 is overkill and it's not really necessary. She does cost 5, and, I've got plenty of other support cards, so I only got 3 of her. Now here's the kind of the backbone of the deck, or where the deck came from. I got 4 Goblin Assaults and 3 Glory of Warfares, and these work pretty amazing together. Against control, against any deck, if you get both these out, it's really rough because you get a 3/1 with haste every single turn attacking, and then it also makes your dudes have 2 defense on their turn to block. And if you play a Conqueror's Pledge with Glory of Warfare out, then it's pretty devastating. Or if you play a Martial Coup to wipe the board with Warfare out, then it's basically game over. So it's really nice against control, like Goblin Assault on turn 3 on the play against control. If they don't have an answer, can wreck their day. Spreadum's a real bad matchup for me, but Goblin Assault can get there for me if I get a Glory of Warfare especially. So this right here can win games by itself, and Vampires has no way to get rid of these enchantments. So it's very powerful against Vampires if you get it off early. Next are my Planeswalkers. I have 2 Chandra and Alara in here right now, but upon testing they haven't really done too much for me. They haven't been too exciting, so I might be taking these out to replace them with something else, but I'm really not sure what to replace them with right now. So if you guys could give me some feedback and tell me what you think would be good cards to main deck, then let me know. Because it kills Baneslayer, but I've got 4 paths, so I've got enough to get rid of Baneslayer, and I've got my own Baneslayer, so it's not a big issue. Plus Stun Sniper can keep Baneslayer tapped down, so I'm not really worried about Baneslayer. So yeah, if you have any better suggestions than Chandra, preferably 3 drops or less, something that's going to be quick, but it's going to be really useful, let me know. Then we've got 2 Elspeth. She's good because she's a token generator. Elspeth's just amazing in herself, but she is a token generator, and that's going to be really good with the Glory of Warfare, and she can also make the Goblins fly, so you can turn those 1/1 hasters into 4/4 flyers, which can be really good. So as soon as your board gets wiped, then you've got dudes immediately right off the bat. So, you know, it's token generation. And token generation is good in this deck because of Glory of Warfare. Then I run 3 Ajani Vengeance. Ajani Vengeance is a really powerful card, obviously. Against Boros, he's got the Helix ability, which is amazing because it kills their dude, gains me 3 life, and gives them a threat they have to deal with. And he's really good against control because he puts them on the clock to where if they don't deal with him, he blows up their lands. So, you know, and then against John, he can keep their mana base tapped like their Savage lands. And, you know, I've almost won a game before with just an Ajani Vengeance. So, Johnny's pretty amazing. Next we go down to the removal spells. I've got 4 Lightning Bolt and 4 Path. These are pretty self-explanatory. Bolt is basically the best removal spell you can get for 1 mana, followed up by Path. So, you know, basically the best removal spells in the format right now, in my opinion. You know, I got 4 of each in the deck. And it gives me plenty of answers for Baneslayers, and, I mean, the diversity of these cards is just amazing. So, those are pretty self-explanatory. Then I've got 2 Conqueror's Pledge. These are pretty powerful because with Glory of Warfare out, then I get 6 dudes attacking as 3 1s, which is, you know, it's 18 damage, so it's pretty much game over. Martial Kuda is the same thing. Martial Kuda is kind of I run a 1 of, but it's kind of like a last ditch effort. Like if they, you know, if I have no way to get rid of everything, I can just play the Martial Coup, get myself 5 dudes, and then swing with Glory of Warfare out. You know, win like that in itself. Or, you know, if I don't really care to wipe the dudes, or if I need some tokens to block with early on, then I can, you know, make 4 or less dudes, you know, 4 3 dudes. And it's also going to work good with Glory of Warfare because it makes them 1/3s to block and 3 1s to attack. So then we get over into the sideboard. I have 3 Day of Judgment. These are basically for vampires. That's basically all they're in there for because Day of Judgment timed correctly can be really good against vampires. It gets you the card advantage you need to get into the late game. So those are pretty self-explanatory. Oblivion Rings for anything I can't deal with, any permanents that I have rough time with, you know, maybe Luminarch Ascensions or something. I suppose I have a lot of damage for them, but, you know, they have their place. There's things that just need to be removed that are difficult to get rid of. So I've got Oblivion Ring in here right now. 2 Celestial Purge. These come in against Jund and vampires. I typically take out Paths, I would say, but, you know, it helps me deal with those Sprouting Thrynaxes without giving them an additional card. And they're just good. You know, against any black deck, they're really powerful. So, not the most exciting sideboard card, but definitely useful against stuff. Then I have 2 Obelisks of Alara. These are amazing against Jund, and they're pretty powerful against Control as well. Or not Jund, vampires. Because, first of all, vampires has no way to get rid of these. And with the ability to gain 5 life every turn, then it makes it really hard for vampires to kill you. And then you can also kill them with the Lightning Bolt effect with its red ability. And then it's also useful against Control because, you know, it's another kill condition against Control. And if they resolve a Sphinx, which this deck has no way to actually kill, then I can keep gaining that 5 life back off of the Obelisk. So it's a good card against Control as well. Down here I've got 2 Banefires. These also come in against Control. You know, nobody's playing Mindbreak Trap right now, so nobody has a way to stop a Banefire for 5 or more. So it's a good game finisher against Control. And I also have it in there to help deal with Malachor Blood Witches when they're brought in from Jund. Not necessarily from vampires, guys have Day of Judgment for them. But for Jund, they help me deal with them and they still win condition. And, you know, so I don't have to bring in Burst Lightnings because I've got the Banefire, so I don't have to open up space for those. But Burst Lightning is a card I thought about main decking instead of Chandra. I've also thought about Scepter of Dominance, so there are some options there. Then the last card is 4 Ruin Blasters, and these are obviously for Jund. You know, if I go on the play, blow up their land on turn 4, play a Johnny on turn 5, it's really difficult for them to win. So that's why I've got those. So that's the deck. I hope you guys found this useful. And like I said, if you have any suggestions for what to replace with Chandra, then let me know. See y'all later.